Hey, everybody, you're listening to Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. If you enjoy these story-only versions of Sleep With Me, please use the contact form on our website to let me know. You get a lot of value out of this. And if you're looking for more sleep stuff, you know, Sleep With Me now comes out 3 times a week, 2 new episodes, 1 classic episode. Then we have 2 episodes of Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me every week. So you could listen to Sleep With Me 5 nights a week if you need to. Now, if you're looking for ad-free episodes, more story-only episodes, going back into the archives, bonus episodes, all intro episodes, Fearless Flyer episodes, on location episodes, all intro episodes, all night episodes. Check out Sleep With Me Plus. Not only do you get all of that stuff, and it's all organized and easy to access in different podcasts, you get to support this podcast so that we can be here and keep trying out new stuff to help you sleep and a bunch of other people, and you can do all that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster. They can't even put one word together. Podcaster, that's one word. I can't even put it together. Can't put one word together. Let's not even think about putting 2 together. Because when I think about conjunction, junction, what's your function? Is it to make one word or not? But it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that is here to keep you company, take your mind off of stuff so you could fall asleep. I'm here to help. And this show does take a few tries to get used to. It's a podcast you don't really listen to. It doesn't put you to sleep. I'm just here to be your friend in the deep, dark night. So see how it goes. The reason I make the show, and the reason so many people are listening along right now is, one, a lot of us know how it feels in the deep, dark night. Whatever's keeping you awake or whatever's going on, I might not have been through it myself, but I could relate to how it feels probably. And if I can't, there's someone listening right now who can. And you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a bedtime you could look forward to or feel neutral about. That's why I make the show. So I put in so much work because I know how it feels and I want you to have a bedtime. You say, hey, at least I got that weird podcast to listen to. It'll keep me company and I'll feel a little bit better. But if you can get the rest you need and you deserve, and your life is more manageable, you could be out there flourishing. That gives me meaning, and that gives my life meaning to help you. But this show's very weird, too, so just a heads up. But that's what people like about it. So give it a few tries, see how it goes. I'm so glad you're here. In the structure of the show, we're going to have some support. That's how the podcast is free. Then there'll be an intro to ease you into bedtime. And then we'll have our bedtime story. So I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you coming by. And here's how I'm able to do it for you for free twice a week. All right, everybody, it is time for our episodically modular series, Nuns in Space. And this one is truly as episodically modular as they come. Each episode takes place in space. I don't know why that made me laugh, because you could call anywhere space, right? But it does, because I was laughing more because the title is Nuns in Space. So you say, you're kidding me. It takes place in space. You got to be joking. Nuns in Space takes place in space. Holy cow. That's news to me. You say, only on Sleep With Me. That would happen on a normal podcast, but on Sleep With Me, it really takes place in space? And I'd say, well, parts of it do. And so Nuns in Space is the tale of, there's nuns, but actually the main characters are Stan, a freestyle soda machine, sentient being, nanobot abilities, and his best friend and sidekick, Scooter, who's roughly modeled on this podcast, and then the nuns from Scooter's childhood. Now, Scooter and the nuns from his childhood are on a spaceship together, heading somewhere. We don't know where they're going. Each episode starts procedurally, believe it or not. where everyone's kind of restarting the day in a Groundhog Day-like way, except for Scooter. He remembers, but he's been so occupied. He really, and this sounds like him, believe me. Instead of solving the larger problem, he gets distracted by the procedure of the episode and the more pressing procedural issues, which normally there's something that goes on the ship. But also Stan is experiencing this loop, but in different places. Stan, who seems to have gotten some sort of demigod-level powers, Stan keeps getting... Now, Stan's not on the ship. Stan will be somewhere, and Scooter will have to go help him. And each episode, Stan doesn't really remember that it's somewhat repetitive, but different every time. Just like an episode of Sleep With Me. This is in our wheelhouse, is it ever? So that's all you really need to know. Outer space, free, loving, happy, freestyle soda machine named Stan was once just a mere droid, I think, but it's always been Scooter's best friend, particularly when he was just doling out soda, I'm sure, in the, prequel years. Stan, the teen years, just a soda machine. It was the worst. It was like being a teen when I was a teenage soda machine. I was a teenage soda machine. That was a famous movie in the 40s, I think. Oh, boy, did I love that. I remember the 45 or the 33 of that. I was a teenage soda machine. Donna and the Doo-Wops sang it. Yeah. And then there was Teenage Soda Machine. That was the B-side. Actually, I don't know if I prefer it. That was a little bit more catchy. Anyway, so Stan and Scooter, two best friends, trying to do their best to solve the problems that come up in the episode. Nuns in space, headed somewhere in outer space. They need Scooter's help. Scooter's their only crew member. That's why they always need his help. And I think that's it, other than the fact that, you want to feel like you're dreaming in outer space. If there was a musical, no kidding, I'm not joking. If there was a musical, I Was a Teenage Soda Machine, and there needed to be a heartthrob, but not an antagonist, though we could cast against type. Henry Fonda did it, so Antonio Banderas could do it. Would be Mr. Antonio Banderas, our Hollywood announcer. The friends beyond the binaries, the ladies, the gentlemen, the boys, the girls, it's time to get spacey with Nuns in space. Whoosh. Scooter, I would love to discuss this project. Nuns in space. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Antonio. We could talk about it over a cup. Would you like a cup of tea or something maybe later? I'd love that. As long as you don't move for the next about 68 minutes, I could arrange that. That's Mr. Antonio Banderas, and this is Nuns in Space. Okay, Scooter, this is Stan here. Scooter, I'm recording. Scooter, I think I feel like if I repeat your name sometimes, maybe you'd hear me and be quicker to respond. But I wanted to catch you up on what's been happening. I don't know how this started again. I don't know what something keeps happening, Scooter. And as you would say, I'm losing time. But this one is, Scooter, I'm in a pickle. But if it's possible to be in a pickle where you created something more sour than a pickle, and I know you don't like sweet dill pickles. You like saying sweet pickles because there was a TV commercial that you liked. You were never a Sweet Pickles member, but I know you liked that ad, Scooter. But I know you don't like sweet dill pickles. Or is it sweet dill? You don't like sweet pickles, Scooter. You've made that clear. Not stronger than dislike. But this could be worse than a sweet pickle. This pickle that I found myself in. Much worse, Scooter. And I could use your help if you're listening. Hello, right now, Scooter. No. Well, here's Scooter, here's as far back as I can go, which is strange. Scooter, I'm finding some limitations in my algorithms. And I can't find it that they're imposed limitations, like it's not a governor or, I mean, that might I don't know. But I found the farthest back I can go is I was on a ship. It doesn't start there though, Scooter. There's stuff before it that I don't know what was before it. But I'm on a ship. I feel very powerful. The ship is moving. It's a huge ship, Scooter. You would call it a space station if it was stationary. And in some sense, it is both a ship and a space station because ships are coming and going all the time. And it's a luxury. Now, you don't go on the ship to have luxury. You go to be processed and delivered. Now, it's luxurious, Scooter. Well, it was luxurious at the beginning when we're in the middle, wherever I started remembering. You would call, if Scooter, I know you well enough that you'd call the ship the SS Pamper. And you'd giggle and you'd say, does it come with this, but it's not like that. It's, so it's a luxury ship, but not like in that the great movie that I loved about love, Short Circuit. No, Scooter, I'm kidding. I was going to say Wally. Just in case you're listening, Scooter. Scooter, I'm deflecting my feelings with humor. Have I done that before? Did you just see what I did, Scooter? And I was going to say Wally, and then I said, I'm too vulnerable. Cover it up with Short Circuit reference. Maybe I'm short-circuiting. Well, I don't like it. I guess that's why I'm covering up my feelings with, there's something I don't like. There was more things I didn't like before I started creating pickles. Wait a second, I kind of have created pickles. Oh, boy. I didn't even think about that as a... Scooter, my subconscious is giving me ideas about things I've done. Okay, so what happened was I was on the ship. I was already in charge, plugged into the ship. The ship is using me. I'm using the ship. We are one. I have much more power than I've ever had before, Scooter, but not the kind of power you would imagine. I use a lot of power, so it's not that kind of power. I'm not a power plant. I do have some raw processing power, but I'm more of using my processing to delegate a lot of the processing. So, okay, maybe I can explain it better. So all around, everywhere, the universes, the galaxies, this ship is, and I guess it has, and I don't know if I did this, Scooter. If I did, I wasn't, that's why I took some rash actions. So on the ship, so let's say you lived in Zizan 44.5 and you were a Kuberberb. Well, let's just say you were a Kubert because at least you'll understand that. And this is a whole universe or planet of Kuberts, right? And goes great there. And it's got a mixed economy, we'll say. And there's some Kuberts that are doing very well, and they say, you know what, I'd like to planet, there's only a few parts of this planet that I really feel most comfortable in, which is true of most planets, Scooter. And they say, I wonder if there's somewhere where that was really suited climate-wise, Scooter, I'm talking about, but there are other variables where a Kubert could live, a Kubert that's done well, that's at the top of the bouncy square, it's bounced over everything, turned all the squares, checked all the boxes, as they say, is a world where I could live in luxury or be pampered. And these are called pamper zones, or that's what I'm calling them, Scooter. You think they're called optimal living, I don't know. It's all marketing, but we don't do the marketing. We're where the marketing is finished. And I don't even know if I don't know, Scooter. I don't know if we're a leading or a lagging indicator. But so originally when I got here, that Kubert would pay a large sum of credits or whatever and sign a contract, come to the SS Pamper, and we would, do a bunch of studies, find out all their interests in their climate, and basic, their basic biology, their, history. And we would find where in the known galaxy, or if it's not known, where most likely we could discover optimal places for this cubert to live in luxury. Pamper zones. So this one we'd be looking, but every universe and planet's different, and there's different sentient beings on, even the same planet. So it does take a lot of processing power, a high cost. So I didn't like it, Scooter. Once I said, well, what about all the other cuberts that want to live in a pampered-based zone? And then when we go to these pampered regions, not everybody's like saying, hey, fill us up with the richest cuberts. They say, well, we don't have a visitor-based economy. And they'd say, well, you do now. We're delivering 45 cuberts. Again, Scooter, this is just an example. If you're listening, don't get caught up in saying, is there a lot of flowering plants or whatever questions you would have? Are there Puffs Plus in every room? Probably there are. That's a good question, Scooter. With aloe, of course. But it'd be the cubert equivalent because you're using your limited human scope to analyze the situation. Okay, so I wasn't comfortable with that. And at some point I started to make changes. I said, well, what if we process even more pamper zones? What if we because they were limited. Obviously, this is, even with all the processing power, again, I said, is there a way to make this more fair and find more pamper zones for more people? Then it became so then I realized I had some sort of gravitational pull or the ship could. So I said, okay, so I started to solve problems in the way of me finding pamper zones for everybody, Scooter. Capacity on the ship, figure that out. Like we're pulling planetoids and asteroids with us. Processing power, we go to, now this isn't, again, Scooter, I think I've lost my way. It does involve consuming some suns for the actual power. Now, we go to uninhabited regions, but then I don't know. I say, wait a second, Stan. And then for the raw processing power, beyond what I can do, not everybody, now there's a time you got to wait, and so you will want to be in some sort of stasis a lot of times. And and then we said, well, how can we make it fair for everybody? It's like, okay, we'll use you instead of a battery, like in that movie. And instead of a virtual world, they're processing, trying to find pamper planets, but they're just doing some raw processing. So they're not batteries, but all of our guests, when they're in stasis, are, they're not microprocessors, but they're processors. Or you could just work on the ship, but most people choose the stasis. So then, okay, so a couple things happened, Scooter. Now, we kept the ship. I said, well, you could keep it for the elite people. And, but then they, some of the elites and whatever company or whatever, was running this, they're not happy with us, Scooter. But then even worse, now, I guess apparently I've been doing this a while, so I don't know where you've been. But, so it'd be nice if you were here. And that you're not I don't know, like that you're the Scooter I can imagine. Because if you're some Scooter from the, future, that would be, I didn't even think about that, how much time's passed. But again, I think time's different. We're traversing wormholes and those kind of things. Wait, does that mean more time went by? Maybe at least you're with me in my heart, Scooter. Okay, so the elites were upset. The company was upset. But worse than that, Scooter, as we started to deliver people to these planets, and I guess this happened with the elite people, they could just re-enroll. But people said, is that all there is? Or after a little while, they'd say, and we said, well, this is a zone on this planet in the entire universe optimally made for your enjoyment. You're saying you're dissatisfied. And people are like, yeah, this is Scooter. Like if we've done a billion, they say, yeah, I was expecting it to be a little bit nicer. Or, yeah, it's okay, but, or you know what I miss? And some of those people, Scooter, they get they've created a movement along with the elites in the company, and they've declared WAR on us. So we said, wait a second, I brought you to the planet that's perfectly suited for your comforts. And there are people that stay and are very happy. Then there's people that say, well, I'll give it another try. But a lot of people, they get they're steaming, Scooter. And so they've declared, now the good thing is I'm pretty powerful and we have this whole universe we're pulling along at this point. But I could use some help with this, because it's taking more and more energy. And then I say eating suns or consuming them, not me, but, it doesn't feel okay. And I need more help I need people to help. But most people, I say, could you work on the ship? I don't say it again, but I'm saying, you know what I mean, Scooter. And they choose stasis because they say we could use a defensive team. And so the more action I'm taking, Scooter, the worse things seem to be going. And the more it's gotten very complicated. And I realize that I'm kind of stuck. So I've stopped moving. But again, I feel like that's going to, so I'm stuck, Scooter. I'm really stuck. I'm stuck. Scooter, I'm stuck. Okay, Stan, it's another dream. Had a dream Stan was stuck in a door. I was trying to get Stan up to I don't know why I would put Stan on the second floor of an apartment building, but got him stuck on the stairs, which doesn't make sense, but it was a dream. But Stan was like, Scooter, I'm stuck. And now it feels like the ship is jerking back. Oh, yes, sisters, I'm coming to, hello, sisters. Yes, I do feel the ship jerking back and forth. You're reversing it and then going forward and stopping short. Okay, thank you, sister. And, I can hear all those other ships honking. Oh, yeah, so we're at a red light. And there's a line of ships behind us. Okay, and what seems to be the light's been red for a long time. Okay, so should we just wait for it to change? Oh, okay, you don't have to use those kind of words with me, sister. So you don't think the light's going to change? Okay. So, and the stoplight's obviously linked to our systems, so there's no override. That's one of the brilliant things about these red lights. So I would say one good news is people are honking at the red light and not at us. Because otherwise they would if they could override it, they would just go around. Okay, well, it just definitely, it can be frustrating. How about here, sister? Do you mind if okay, you don't want me controlling the ship. Okay. What if you just back up and try to go to the right a little bit more? Maybe it's got like a detector and you're in the right place. Well, okay. What if you try to move? What about on the left side? I know I'm pointing to the right and I'm saying the left, so that just happens with me. Sorry, sister. Why don't you try the other way? I meant, okay. What if you back up a little? Can you inch forward like a billion? Nope, that's as far as they'll let you go. At least they're giving you room to back up behind you. What if you try to come in at, no, that didn't work either. What about the other side? Okay, no, okay. So I should go out into space and fix it. Okay, great. Okay, I'm getting suited up now. Something feels off though. Okay, I'm out here, sisters. I'm going out in space. I don't know, something about the space. So still don't understand where we're going with the nuns. I know I have to find my way back to Stan, but I probably have to fix this light first. Okay, I don't see any buttons, and don't see anything. It's perfectly sealed. I'm just going to tap on it, wave in front of it. Okay, maybe if I kick it, it's hard to kick stuff in zero gravity. Okay, please, can you please work, light? Hey, light, can you hear me? Can you please work? Can you please work? Please, light. Okay, I'm going to try to break it. Well, okay. Oh, yeah, I do have this hammer. Okay, it seems to be indestructible. Please change to green. Okay, no, I'll try to break it. No. Oh, wait a second. What's this on the back? Is a repair call button. Okay, I pressed it, and it's green. Okay, let me go back to, hey, sisters, I'm back. So the light, I hit the repair button, and it sent out a call to be repaired. And as I'm recalling, I remember when they passed. I mean, I don't remember this, but so it would make sense that would make sense, because if they tied all the stoplights to the vehicle's drives, they'd have to keep the lights fixed, right? Otherwise everything would shut down every time a light broke. Kind of like yes, sister, just like this situation. I realize we're in a hurry, sister. Could you tell me exactly what we're in a hurry for? Our mission, which is, my mission is to serve. Of course it is. Of course it's to be the best and only crew member on this ship. So living a dream. Okay, how long is it going to take? I don't know how long it's going to take. Well, I don't understand. I mean, I could go tape some tinfoil to the light to see if that speeds up its signal. Okay, I could go talk to other ships that are honking. But you sisters, this seems like it's going to not be good for your well-being, sitting here waiting for the light repair person to come, which is an indefinite period of time. Also, I've never seen, every time I've seen all of you, you've been driving the ship on a mission. This is the first pause in the action, other than when stuff's been malfunctioning. So what if we go, sisters, I got a great idea. We'll go greet all the other people on ships. You can tour the ships. And I don't know, maybe that's part of your mission. You know, these things happen that are out of our control, right? Maybe it's part of the bigger mission from the big, big light repair, person who really controls the lights. Am I right? Maybe. Okay, so I'm going to go. I'm going to use the computer. Hey, everybody on the other ships. The light repair person the light repair button has been pressed, and the light is green. So I think it's safe to say that, I can hear everybody. This is like a Zoom, so I can see all your faces. A lot of beautiful beings out there. And I mean a lot of different types of beauty as well, and definitions of that word, loose and, you know what I'm saying. I'm here with my commanders, who are sisters, for kind of complicated to explain. But I wanted to come up with some ideas to keep everybody. I was thinking the sisters wanted, what if we have, here's a great idea. Does anybody out there like desserts? Raise your hand, because I muted you all. So luckily, this is like they still have Zoom in the future. That's, I would have never thought that. And they still have mute. No, you can't unmute yourself. So please raise your physical hand or tentacle, or, your virtual one. Whiskers, yeah. Whatever, proboscis or whatever that's called. For sure, wing, yep. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, whatever. I have a limited vocabulary, even on Earth. So anybody that likes dessert, raise your hand. Okay. I'm going to create a breakout room where you'll still be muted, and I'll be there. Who likes beverages? Who's good at drinking beverages or making them, or has good beverages? Okay, cool. Okay, anyone good at cooking? Like we're going to do a progressive dinner. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. And anyone good at games that are safe for everybody and fun for everybody? Games, those kind of games. We would call them board games on my planet. Okay. Okay, great. Wow, not very many. Okay. So, hey, everybody, even though you're all in breakout rooms, I'm going to contact you all from the main Zoom. And you're all going to independently, we'll have a dessert crawl where we could go from, for people that like desserts. And this will be going on all the time until the light's repaired. A dessert crawl. And then we'll also do, sisters, you're going to join. Okay, we'll do a beverage crawl for those who like different kinds of beverages. Progressive dinners. I love it. Progressive breakfasts and lunches. And board games. Somebody else's performances. I love it. Okay, I'll do another breakout room, a sub-breakout room. So I want all of you to organize that. Stay focused on that. It's going to be great. Hey, sisters. So you're going to go get dessert? They did. Oh, boy, that looks good. I'm going to head over there after a little while. Okay, sisters, I'll see you. Well, that's weird. They left me alone on the ship. I don't even want to say what they were serving. It looked good, though. So, wow, that's interesting. I'm alone on the ship. It never happened before. So I know Stan's needing my help somewhere, and I don't know how long it's going to, so the mission log is there. And what if I open, the mission log is a hollowed out book with some sort of portal. Well, okay, so I'm going to crawl in this hollowed out book that has a portal in it. At least this one was easy. And, hey, Stan, hey, Scooter, where have you been? I'm stuck. Yeah, I know, Stan. Scooter, listen, I want you to listen to this, it'll catch you up on everything. Believe it or not, Stan, when I came through the portal, I heard a message from you, and it felt like I was going through the portal instantly, but it was slow enough that I also could hear everything you said. So I got an idea that you're in a bit of a sweet and sour, but mostly too sweet and not enough dill pickle. Scooter, it's like I'm the center of gravity, and I'm weightless, and I'm numb, and the gravity's pulling in and pushing at the same time. Yeah, I'm here to help, Stan. And also, between when I recorded that message and now, and because we stopped moving, they're organized, Scooter, the WAR, and they're coming towards us. Okay, and then what else happened after you knew that? Scooter, I got very upset. Okay, that's understandable reaction. And I made an announcement. So I woke everybody up from stasis. They weren't happy about that, Scooter. And I told them the situation and they needed to help. Okay, and then what happened? Scooter, it didn't go good. Some people were, they're now in our universe working for the other side because they didn't like me telling them what to do and saying that they needed to help. Then I tried to force people, Scooter, but I couldn't figure out even how to do that. And then I told them, this is the right thing to do. Like, we're trying to take you to a place where you could be pampered or repampered. And they said, well, we were processing the whole time. And I say, processing has actually been shown to soothe and flush your brain. And other than that, and they said, we don't, So those people also joined the other group. But most people said, put me back in stasis. Okay. Then what happened, Stan? Okay, then I tried to reason with everybody. I said, I could put you in stasis, but what if there's no stasis? We may have to, if we can't reason with or deal with the opposition, there might not be any pampering to go around. And then they said, well, I'll just join, then they got, and I said, well, but most people said, put me in stasis anyway. Then I tried to inspire them, Scooter. I tried to look up movies that you liked with speeches, and none of that worked. And more people joined, and they said, oh, you're trying to guilt us here. And I said, not really. I'm trying to get you the most effective way to be pampered in the universe. And I just need you to help out. And then I used 4-letter words. I told them to get their acts together. I told them to go to their rooms, but they wouldn't be put in stasis without dinner. And I said, they're the problem and they need to help us, but they don't want to help. Then I cried and I pretended, Scooter, I swear to God, I did this. I cried with the mic open on purpose. I mean, I was really crying, but I pretended I didn't know it was on, but I did know. Oh, see, then you weren't trying to guilt them, but you were guilting them, but you weren't trying. Then you did try. Yes, Scooter, I did. I cried for purposes other than expressing my emotions. But you were expressing your emotions. You were expressing frustration and overwhelming sadness. And then I said, I don't understand. I'm just trying to get them to a pampered zone. And Scooter, I even did the thing where you because I was really doing it, or to a new pamper zone. And I just need your help. And, some of you, this is your third time because you got bored and we're running out of time and resources. It's not fair. And that's true, Scooter, by all calculations. And I can do a lot of calculating, Scooter. I mean, by most calculations, I'd say all the calculations I can do. This is just, Stan, holy moly. Do you realize how big this is? Yes, Scooter, it's a big problem. No. How big it is for you? It's a big deal to me, Scooter. Yes. You don't need to validate. I think you're over-validating, Scooter. I don't need to be made aware of how tough the situation is and how I feel about it. Stan, that's not what I'm not trying to validate you. I'm trying to point something out. That this is a major breakthrough. Scooter, you're not an optimist. It doesn't look good on you when you try to be optimistic. Because it's not. No, Stan, you're not understanding me. You're being reasonable and also totally delusional at the exact same time. Scooter, I feel like, what do you mean? Because I expect, I'm being delusional and reasonable. I'm being delusionally reasonable or reasonably delusional? Or, Scooter, I'm being both. Scooter. This feels awful. Right, Stan? You've been learning from your mistakes, but barely learning from your mistakes. And then most of the time, you're making things worse before you make them better. Scooter, you're right. Scooter, that hurt you'd say that. Right, and subjective truth or whatever you want to call it. Objective, definitely not objective. Hurts your feet. Stan, I got to give you a hug. Stan. Oh, Scooter, you're kissing and hugging me really in a genuine way. Yes, Stan, because I don't know what happened, but something happened to you. And, you've gone from sentient to but I think we also, while you're changing, Scooter. I'm not an adolescent anymore, I don't think. Well, you may be all things at once, but you're going through something. And I can relate because I've been incredibly delusionally unreasonable and reasonably delusional every day of my life, Stan. So I can relate. And you're I've broken pickle jars and then then I've been afraid to tell the person that I was the one that broke it. And sometimes I haven't even told them. And sometimes I said, somebody broke a pickle jar in aisle 9. They say somebody. I say someone. It could have been, I don't know. Or I just exit the store and never return. I've done all those things, Stan. Wait, Scooter, were you the one that broke the pickle jar? Some of the times, not all the time. Okay, Stan. Well, I don't know what to do then, because, Well, we got to assess where we are, I guess. So, I mean, I can relate, but actually I've never solved any of this stuff. I think you're trying to control, if you're changing, it's weird because you have demigod-like powers, but you're becoming more human. Next thing you know, you're going to be, I don't know, like, stay away from coffee makers because I don't want you making an espresso maker that's got super strength or magical hair or something. Scooter, I don't understand. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just don't get in. There's no dating until we get through this. Oh, yes, Scooter, you're confused. Okay, so I've confused you. So now we can reset things. So we've got we're our own universe, and you're the kind of the center of the universe, and we're trying to get people where they think they want to go, and we need a percentage of those people. A lot of them are passengers. Now I don't know the exact terms of exchange of your expectations and stuff, Stan. But you're expecting them to, it looks like your expectations in reality are not lined up, right? You think you have reasonable expectations. And the place where the delusion's happening is that you're expecting that your reasonable expectations will be resolved or whatever every day of my life. Okay, so, and I can't tell you if they're unreasonable or reasonable. That's why it's such a big, I'm really happy for you, but also I can see some of these readouts that we're in a situation. So, I understand all the information you gave me, and I don't think I don't think you, let's see. Here's an idea, Stan, and it's going to take some time, so hopefully, I think the way time's working is a little bit different, because I can see they're close, but they're still far away, the force that's coming. And if some of these readouts show people's dissatisfaction, I think we still have a chance. Now, the first thing you want to do is, if anybody wants to return to stasis, just let them return to stasis, okay? But say, hey, those of you that aren't sure, we've got some new stuff we're going to try out. You could always return to stasis later at any time you want. And, all that other stuff I said, I was going through something. Just, be honest with them. But just, you don't have to go into too many details. Just say, hey, I was having a tough time. I apologize for all those ultimatums. And say, we're going to do some stuff. We're going to start pampering you. And, let's start a pamper tour and be like, who wants to be pampered by Stan and Scooter? Now we'll have a limited menu, but we'll go around and do some interviews. And the thing is, Stan, and I mean, I guess it must show that I'm in total delusion and no reasonable, is like, we got to have fun doing it and embrace it fully. And when people ask, say, okay, well, we're gonna pamper those people that are coming towards us. That's how we're gonna deal with this. Is we're gonna find new ways to pamper because we think our vision of pampering was limited. Scooter, can I ask you a question? Yes, Stan. I would like, of course I would. I don't think I'd actually want to wear a pamper, but of course I would. We'll do it in Pampers, but only in our minds. Okay, Scooter, that was what I thought. So we'll start, so we're going to start touring. We're going to gather all this pamper information we can. And Scooter, I've started to do that as you were talking, because again, I have, okay. And what percentage, how are we looking? Scooter, some people did return to stasis. Some people are still very upset and they're planning on joining the other force. And some people said, hey, what are you talking? We'll be pampered. Okay, so we'll and if you started pampering, and Scooter, I have. because I have so many. Yeah, I know you've got some powers that are beyond my understanding right now, Stan. So as you pamper them, let's start to bring in the people that are really upset and offer them ultimate pampers, but also see if the people you're pampering say, can you help me understand, we could use some help pampering these other guests. And if they say, why, just say, okay, because it's fun. We'll see how it goes. Okay, Scooter, okay, it's taken a little bit more effort to pamper them. Okay, and then so see those other people say, oh, no, you don't have to be pampered. You don't have to like this. And see if they're still interested in joining the other forces. That's fine. Tell them that's fine. You do what you want to do. But we're doing this new pamper thing, and we're really getting into it. And Scooter, it's catching on. Scooter, like on a small percentage, though. Okay, right. And we still have the so you're readjusting the calculations as we're learning more. Scooter, it's like some sort of incremental change. Like only a tiny percentage of people more are saying, hey, we'll pamper on the way to pamper. Right. It's like it's the joy of pampering, but no one's locked in. It's not like a job. This is 100%. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start calling the approaching ships, I'm sure, with your superpower. Also, they must know that holy cow. Stan, can you analyze, as they're coming in, start to analyze if they're made up of, did you leave any rocks or asteroids behind? Scooter, I did, as people chose not to join us. Yeah, they were secondary. Yes, yeah. Okay, and they're with that. Okay, so tell them to expect positive surprises and start to recruit people on the ship that are already into this pampering. We're going to do what's called the surprise pampering, or surprise luxuriating. We're going to go, and I don't know how, do you have any of that Star Trek type of stuff where we could just appear on other ships? Scooter, yes. Okay, but communicate with them first and get a gauge of Scooter, I'm understanding. So we're trying to figure out ways to do nice things for the people that are approaching, but they don't even know it was us. But they might have a general idea, but with no expectation they're going to change their mind or anything. Right? We don't care. Scooter, why is that? I don't know, because it's fun. It's fun. We're getting away with something. We're getting away with doing something nice, and we're sneaking it by that part of us, like you said, that it has that's reasonably delusional or reasonable delusion and delusion with reasonability. We're getting away. We're getting. This is a different. It's not like that. It's beyond. That's like a switch. Then you realize, the switch isn't connected. Like a red light. Scooter, I don't think I kind of understand. Scooter, it's kind of working. They're wondering. The sentiment on the approaching ships is changing. Not drastically, but slightly. Okay, Stan, and invite them in and say, hey, we're stopped here. And if you want to tell us, because Stan, I think we have to just invite them in and say, if you're upset with us, we'll hear about it. Scooter, can you tell me why? So, Stan, I have this strange feeling that, one, you have experienced a new phase of growth, but, that at some point there was all this delusion spread around the galaxy, and there's things going on that you don't remember, right? But I remember that things are going on. Scooter. So we've been stuck in some sort of loop over and over again. I'm on a ship with the Nuns going somewhere, and even I'm not clear on our entire history, but I do know that there's all this delusion scattered around the galaxy that needed to be collected, or maybe it didn't need to be collected, but I think we have been collecting it. And I think that we're supposed to just stay here and resolve this. Screw, I think it's kind of resolving itself, but it's not going to be resolved because it's not going to be resolved. Right. But some people will be resolved, and then we'll move on to the but then we know not everybody's going to be happy. And that's like what you're saying is going to, Scooter, yes. But we also have to, I think, get everything gathered here because we may be able to find which asteroids and rocks and planetoids are made up of pure delusion or ships are. But for now, I think I got to rest so I can see if the light changed. And Scooter, I should rest too because I've been processing a long time. Yeah, let's take a rest, Stan. I'll hug and kiss you again because I'm so happy that you thought you were being reasonable, and you were being delusional. I love you, Stan. Scooter, I love you too. Thanks for pointing out that it's okay for me to be sensitive and delusional and reasonable all at once. Yeah, no problems. Stan, it takes an expert to know one. Scooter, just because you do something all the time doesn't make you an expert. Stan, you're so funny. Makes me love you more. Good night, Scooter. Good night, Stan. All right, I'm going to think of it. Became a patron recently. Valerie, Amy, and Rondi. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. Hope, Ben, and Michelle. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. Jan, Dan, and Diane. Thank you. Thanks. And good night. Melinda, James, and Laura, thank you, thanks, and good night. Sarah, Gabrielle, and Grace, thank you, thanks, and good night. Garbanzo, Daphne, and Michael, thank you, thanks, and good night. Christy, Claire, and Mary, thank you, thanks, and good night. Amy, Skylar, and Angela, thank you, thanks, and good night. Miranda and Jennifer, thank you, thanks, and good night. Kim, Jean, and Nicola, thank you, thanks, and good night. Gary, Lynn, and Elizabeth, thank you, thanks, and good night. Lucas, William, and Adrian, thank you, thanks, and good night. MK, Tina, and Marianne, thank you, thanks, and good night. And Jody, Andreas, and Kevin, thank you, thanks, and good night. Thanks to everybody who supports the show directly. That's how the podcast is able to be here free twice a week, whether you support the sponsors or, support us on Patreon or somewhere else. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate it on behalf of everybody that is not in a position to support the show, that we're able to do it for free and it'd be optional because of those of you that do it. Thank you. And those of you that spread the word about the podcast, the ones that grow the show, I really appreciate that as well. And that's it. We've been able to add over, I think we're almost at 500 episodes whenever I'm recording this in the free feed. So by the time you hear this, it'll probably be over. Thanks to these Tuck You In sponsors and the listeners that support the sponsors. Thanks.